there's elevated danger in northern Alberta, where they have been getting little to no rain. And as you look ahead now, the projected forecast for Monday shows the vast majority of the province under extreme fire danger.
Those conditions are making firefighting incredibly difficult across Alberta at a time that many are calling unprecedented. And people are bracing for more tough days ahead. While mandatory evacuation orders are being lifted in some areas and cooler temperatures have helped get some fires under control, many other communities are still in the threat zone. Temperatures are expected to hike into the 30s again over the weekend, leaving no chance to catch a breath in this fight. Now, we got into this a little bit on Tuesday's show, but wildfires in Alberta are actually pretty common this time of year. The last three major events, Slave Lake in 2011, Fort McMurray in 2016, and Chuckade Creek in 2019, they all happened in May. What's different about the fires happening right now, though, is the sheer breadth of them. So many at once across such a large swath of the province.
And so far this year, we've had 421 wildfires burning 410,000 hectares. For context, that's about double the average area burned for the entire wildfire season. And it's only May 10th.
And many of us, as we watch this destruction unfolding, we want to understand how these fires start in the first place and how they can get just so catastrophic so quickly. We know that, unfortunately, they're often caused by humans or by lightning. But when conditions line up just right, there's another factor that can change a situation from bad to worse in no time. It's a phenomenon NASA describes as the fire-breathing dragon of clouds, and it's officially called pyrocumulonimbus. So, we have some questions. How does it form? What are the challenges in keeping it under control? And how do lightning and climate change factor in? I spoke with one of our colleagues in Alberta who's been following this story very closely to break down how these fire clouds work.
I'm Christy Climenhaga. I'm a meteorologist with CBC Edmonton and cover climate change and weather stories for the prairies. It's still a little bit of a mysterious science out there. It's a relatively new area of study, but what you need for these fire clouds to form, or fire weather clouds, is a really big fire, a very intense fire with a lot of heat, and then you need weather conditions that complement it. So hot, dry, windy weather on top of that. And so what happens is you get the heat from the fire really causing that updraft, that rising air that forms what looks like a thunderstorm cloud, but without the relief from rain that you'd usually expect with a thunderstorm. They kind of, again, they kind of just pop up and then they go on their way, and then they start to ease as the heat eases. But they can really aggravate the fire situation because, especially when you get into pyrocumulonimbus clouds, ones that are really, really tall and reach very high levels of the atmosphere, they start to simulate other thunderstorm conditions. So erratic winds, lightning even, which can start new forest fires in areas that maybe aren't burning quite yet. So they are something that are hard to deal with when you look, especially on a fire suppression side of things, because they can make that fire more unpredictable and more dangerous. There's a link, but lightning and climate change is a kind of a complicated factor, and these, especially with pyrocumulonimbus, it's a newer science. They're still searching and still trying to figure out links and where that fits in. From the scientists I spoke to, they say that Canada does get a lot of these pyrocumulonimbus clouds when compared to other countries. And with climate change and lightning, especially in Canada, it's different wherever you are in the world on what we expect. But by the end of the century, research does show likely an increase in lightning in Canada, a slight increase with those warmer temperatures, more convection to get these thunderstorms going. And we'll have to see with pyrocumulonimbus if it's the same sort of trend. But we do know that these clouds form from really, really strong fires, really big fires, intense fires. And we do know that with climate change, we do have that risk of extreme fire, of intense fire. So theoretically, you could get more of these happening, but because they are so mysterious and when they form, why they form, predicting them is something that we're really excited about to learn more about, because they can be so dangerous and they are still a little elusive to us.
We'll continue to watch the situation in Alberta and hope some relief is on the way soon. I'm Lauren Bird. Thanks for watching About That. Take care.